Season's here. Conversation needs to start in the AFC. Why? Of the last 6 NFL champs, 5 from the AFC. So Rodney Harrison, Mike Florio, Tony Dungy, Chris Sims. The question is, Sims, I'll start with you. Repeat or no repeat for Kansas City?
I'm going to say repeat, and I understand it's not easy. I get it. But, man, Patrick Mahomes, the pressure's off. I think he's a guy that's going to hold himself to a standard, hold the team to a standard. He wants to be great. He wants to be in the rings conversation with the Tom Brady. And I also look at Andy Reid. We've been talking for 20 years about, can he win the big game? He's won the big game, and I think this is just going to embolden them. And really, I think they're a team that's going to ride with this momentum and be better.
I love the Chiefs and all their weaponry, all the things that they have in place. Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're special, but I don't think they're going to repeat. It's just so hard to do.
That's right. Unless you have Rodney Harrison in your team, you don't repeat. Rodney, you're the authority. Can they do it?
No, they won't. I love the Chiefs. I love Andy Reid. But there's a reason why it's been how many years? 16 years before somebody can repeat. Last time somebody repeated. I just think the toughest part of repeating is just complacency. You also have to deal with injuries. And you got 31 other teams out there extremely hungry. I don't think the Chiefs will repeat.
Florio, they won the offseason, though. They spent a lot of money to keep the band together.
Well, that's right. But here's the thing. And in any given year, if you give me one team versus the field, I'm always taking the field. And in this year, with so much uncertainty and unpredictability that could descend on the NFL once they start playing the games. And remember last year, Patrick Mahomes got injured and missed a couple of games, and they barely pulled the number 2 seed out of the hat, the proverbial rabbit out of the hat or somewhere else in week 17 to get the bye. So, and then they were 10 points down against the 49ers and 10 points down against the Titans and 24 points down against the Texans. Too many things had to fall their way, and there's too much uncertainty, too many moving parts this year. It's going to be very hard for them to pull it off.
Kind of why I like it, though. They haven't even played their best football yet, and they won a Super Bowl. That's where I'm a little,
Chris,
I know I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but that's kind of why I like it. What?
Chris Sims, you talked about the pressure being off, and to me, that's not a good thing. Anytime the pressure's off, to me, you can become complacent. You can relax. To me, when you have that edge, that's when you go to the next level because everyone's so focused. But now that you have the big prize, those guys aren't as hungry. You can't tell me those guys are as hungry as they were last year.
Why were you so hungry then? Tell me why you were so hungry to win 2 in a row.
Because throughout my career, I've lost so many games and I was on so many losing teams. I just wanted to be part of something special. And we had the quarterback, just like Kansas City has the great quarterback. But I just think the difference is, and I'm not taking a shot at Andy Reid, I think the difference was Coach Belichick. He made us totally forget about the previous year, and we still had that edge going into the next year.
Well, now Coach Belichick.
Guys, hang on. I remember that 2004 season very well. For whatever reason, people didn't think the Patriots could do it. No one believed in the Patriots. There wasn't this sense of awe around them, even though they had won 2 out of the last 3. I think that's one of the ingredients, Rodney. When you have that thing your coach can point to and say, people don't believe in us. And Andy Reid can't use that tool this year because everybody believes in the Chiefs.
Well, now Coach Belichick, who you were talking about before, doesn't have Tom Brady. So let's go to item 2 here on the AFC this season. Cam Newton's going to come out there to play quarterback for the Patriots. It's going to be the most bizarre thing we've seen in quite some time until we see Brady come out a few hours later with the Bucs. Do you think, Coach, that Cam with the Patriots works?
I think it depends on Cam. I think everything's set up for him. It will work. I've watched Bill Belichick most of my life, and he has a different game plan for Jimmy Garoppolo. He has a different game plan for Matt Castle. He has a different offense for Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
And they keep winning.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have some different things that the NFL hasn't seen to accentuate what Cam Newton does well. If Cam is on board and stays with it, they're going to have a good year.
I'm in agreement with Coach. I mean, yes, a lot depends on Cam Newton. Of course, he's in a new environment and the attention to detail and being humble and forget last week. That's stuff he's going to have to get accustomed to. But I think the main thought is something you said, Coach. They always find creative ways to do different things with this scheme. And I think you're going to see not only a different type of offense, but, a rejuvenated, motivated Cam Newton. And let's not forget, the Patriots' defense was damn good last year. The offense wasn't exactly like winning them the football games.
But there are a lot of guys missing from that good Patriots defense.
There is, but Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, McCourty, they're still there. It's the best secondary in football, and I think that'll be something to lean on for the offense if they're not hitting on all cylinders, at least early on, to where their defense can keep them in games?
Chris and Coach, let me jump in because I expect Cam Newton to have a lot of success this year. But my big question is, who will he throw to? They don't have anybody. They have Julian Edelman, and he's going to see a lot more double teams. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm saying take away Julian Edelman and force N'Keal Harry. Who else will they throw to, Chris? Are they going to use James White as a fourth wide receiver or a third wide receiver? I just don't think they have the skill weapons, and that's the reason why Tom Brady wanted out, because they don't have a lot of talent around Cam Newton.
And with those guys that opted out on defense and aren't playing, that defense is not going to be as good. They may be good. They were great last year. I don't see them being great on defense this year.
Mike Florio, just out of curiosity, if not the Patriots, who wins the AFC East?
Well, probably the Buffalo Bills, but they've become such a popular and trendy pick. It won't shock me if they get knocked wobbly by the Jets week 1. How are they going to deal with being a team that is supposed to do great things for the first time in nearly 30 years? I don't know. But I could see any of those three teams put it together. Again, this season is going to be so unpredictable. Injuries are going to be an issue. COVID-19, although maybe not the issue we thought it was going to be, but it's still going to loom. I'd say the Bills first, but I'm not going to rule out any of those other three teams if the Patriots can't do it.
So we talked about...
Mike, listen, let me just say this, Mike. Mm-hmm. Don't forget about the Patriots. You're talking about all the guys that they lost. They lost a lot of leadership. You talk about Kyle Van Noy, Patrick Chung, Dante Hightower. And to me, the most important player was Dante Hightower because he could play multiple positions. He could play middle linebacker. He could play outside linebacker. He could play defensive end. And just being in charge of all the calls of checks and adjustments, his leadership will be so sorely missed. And I just think that, losing that type of experience is going to be very difficult on that team.
So we talked about the team that won 2 years ago, the Patriots. We talked about the team that won last year, Kansas City. We haven't talked about the team who I'm picking in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens. So you guys now give me the Super Bowl representative from the AFC. Tony, I'll let you go first.
Super Bowl representative from the AFC?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to digital. Now you have picks.
That's tough. You know what? I like Baltimore and I like what they've done. Obviously, Kansas City, it's hard to pick against them. I'm gonna pick a shocker. And I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger coming back, Mike Tomlin there, that coach, quarterback, same system. Nobody sees them coming. I'm going to say the Steelers.
Chris? I'm going, the first question you asked me to start this, I'm saying the Kansas City Chiefs repeat. I think Mahomes is going to have an MVP of football this year, and I'm taking them.
Good, Rod.
Hey, Coach, you really took the words right out of my mouth. I'm looking at a sleeper team, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, when you've been injured, you get humbled. Who's laughing at me?
No, all of us are. I'm with you.
Yeah, but I just look at that defense, and I've been on some great defenses, and you look at that talent level at linebacker on the defensive front and the secondary. The Pittsburgh Steelers are absolutely loaded. And just think if they would have had Ben Roethlisberger last year with the production that they got at some of the wide receiver spots. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers as well.
See, and I'm on board with the Steelers, but my concern is that the elbow injury last year to Ben Roethlisberger may be a sign of things to come, that his body is beginning to break down, and the elbow may be fine now, but what's it going to be this year as he gets closer to 40, and he's taken all those hits over the years and taken that pounding and had those injuries. And I'm going to go with the Patriots, because if they can keep Cam Newton healthy, and that may be a big if, but this year, with all the crazy rules and all the different ways for Bill Belichick to manipulate things legally and permissibly in his favor, just like not having a kicker on the active roster because he can pull up guys off the practice squad whenever he wants. He's going to have this all figured out to his advantage. His team is not going to get wobbly in the face of whatever may come their way, and they're just going to find a way to win and win and win, and I think they're going to be there. They may not win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady may beat them when they get there, but I think they're going to get there out of the NFC.
So you're going
one of the two.
You're going at Buccaneers and Brady against the Patriots
Maybe.
Super Bowl?
Maybe.
Okay.
I like a good story.
Apparently.
That's a pretty good story.
Yes, you do. There's our AFC preview. We hope to see you every Sunday for Football Night in America, 7 Eastern, in front of Sunday Night Football on NBC. Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.